How can one maintain peace and perseverance amidst the constant changes of life? The answer might lie in an ancient philosophy, Stoicism. A philosophy that has stood the test of time, helping millions overcome difficulties and achieve an unshakable inner peace. Life is like a long journey, full of rough paths and unexpected turns. Sometimes, we feel like we're walking on a foggy road, unable to see the destination. And it seems as if all efforts are meaningless. The challenges, hardships, and pressures in life can easily cause us to lose patience and faith in ourselves. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what is beyond our grasp. It is not just an approach but a way of life that helps us remain calm, strong, and patient in any situation. With the guidance of great philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, we learn that all things of value require time to mature and that patience and perseverance are the keys to living a meaningful and sustainable life. Welcome to Stoic Pathways, a journey to explore Stoic philosophy and apply it to modern life. Here, we not only provide fundamental knowledge about Stoicism but also share practical tools and deep lessons to help you train your mind, develop patience, and build resilience in life. Stoic Pathways is where you will discover the core principles from great philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, who conveyed profound reflections in his meditations while facing the pressures of the Roman Empire, Seneca, who teaches us how to live serenely amidst uncertainty, and Epictetus, who delivers powerful messages about inner freedom. Part 1, Do not be hasty and impatient in life. In modern life, achieving quick results is often seen as the norm. We are easily tempted by the desire for everything to happen instantly, from career success to personal relationships. This haste and impatience lead us to states of anxiety, disappointment, and loss of direction. Modern society places heavy emphasis on time and efficiency, causing people to become hasty. Comparing ourselves to others and having high expectations only adds to the pressure, making us feel that everything must be completed quickly to prove our worth. Speed can bring efficiency and help us accomplish more in a short time. When we act quickly and decisively, we can seize the best opportunities. But does speeding things up mean achieving long-term and sustainable goals? If everything is rushed, we may miss valuable lessons that the process offers. Therefore, the advice is, learn to be patient and accept that some things need time to develop. Patience gives us clarity and helps us make wiser decisions. Part 2, Always being patient and waiting for everything. The question is, if we are always patient and wait for everything, does it make us passive and less proactive in life? Patience is often misunderstood as stagnation, standing still and waiting for fate to decide. But in reality, it is not surrender or passivity. If we imagine patience as a mighty tree, we will see that, like roots clinging deeply to the earth, patience helps us maintain our stance. But it does not mean we do not act. On the contrary, Stoicism teaches that patience is a combination of deliberate action and acceptance of factors beyond our control. Patience means understanding that, to achieve anything of value in life, we must take one step at a time, make one action at a time, even if the results are not immediately apparent. Imagine a farmer sowing seeds. He cannot expect the rice to grow overnight. Instead of standing still and waiting, the farmer continues to work, tending, watering, fertilizing, and removing weeds. He knows he cannot control the speed at which the plants grow, but he can control how he takes care of them. That is purposeful patience. He acts with the understanding that this process will take time to bear fruit. Stoicism views patience not as a static state but as a dynamic one. We do not sit idly by, waiting for results, but must act. However, this action is not about being hasty or rushing the process but accepting a truth, everything of value needs time to develop and mature. If you are impatient and want immediate results, you may act rashly, like pulling up seedlings just to check if they have grown. This not only disrupts the natural growth process but also shows a lack of patience and insight. However, this does not mean patience equals accepting everything and doing nothing. True patience is acting with the understanding that we can only control part of the process. We still have to take steps. Keep trying every day, but with a calm mindset and without being fixated on the outcome. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that persistence and perseverance are what matter, not quick results. Seeds planted in the soil need time and the right conditions to germinate. And so do people. If we understand that everything has its own process, we will not be discouraged when results do not appear immediately. Imagine climbing a high mountain. Each step is difficult, requiring patience and effort. But if you keep looking at the peak and wishing to reach it immediately, you will easily feel exhausted and lose motivation. However, if instead of focusing solely on the summit, you focus on each step, each breath, and enjoy the surrounding scenery, you will realize that the climb itself is a meaningful journey. This is similar to what Stoic philosophy teaches. Patience is not waiting for the peak but appreciating every step and understanding that each one is an essential part of reaching your goal. Patience is also a deep understanding of natural laws. Nothing of value comes without persistence and time. Think of the image of an ancient tree. Over decades, even centuries, it stands firm against rainstorms, scorching sun, and strong winds. The patience of the tree is not passivity but resilience. A slow but steady growth until it becomes a symbol of strength and stability. Stoicism also reminds us that patience is not about giving up hope or passively accepting everything. It is the courage to keep acting even when we cannot see immediate results and the calmness to accept that not everything is within our control. When you are patient, you do not stop acting, rather, you act with awareness and wisdom, realizing that the process is sometimes more important than the outcome. What is most valuable often comes from persistent and long-term efforts, not from hasty and thoughtless actions. Therefore, if you think patience is passive, reconsider. Patience is not about standing still and waiting, it is about continuing to act with the understanding and acceptance that every process takes time to bloom. Only when you are patient with yourself and the process you are going through can you truly grow and achieve long-term and sustainable goals. Part 3. When we lack patience. When we lack patience, it is not simply a feeling of restlessness or unrestrained anticipation. In reality, it is a sign of a deep distrust in the process we are undergoing. In questioning this, we must ask ourselves, why are we impatient? Why can't we wait? The answer may lie in the fact that we do not fully trust the process. And thus, we feel anxious that our efforts might not yield the desired results. Imagine a field where a farmer has just planted seeds in the soil. If the farmer does not believe those seeds will grow into plants, he will easily lose patience and doubt that his efforts are in vain. This lack of trust, at a deeper level, stems from the fear of failure, the fear that all our efforts and hard work will be meaningless. We worry that even though we have done our best, the final result may not meet our expectations. It is like climbing a high mountain, each step is tiring and challenging. And if we do not believe the summit truly exists, each step becomes torture, a meaningless struggle. This fear makes us not only worry about failure but also about the possibility that all efforts may be in vain, that the path we are on may lead nowhere. In life, many people fall into this trap. They want to see immediate results to reinforce their belief that they are on the right path. When they do not see results, they lose faith in themselves and the process, leading to confusion and impatience. Imagine an artist painting a large canvas. Initially, It is just rough sketches, with no clear shape. If the artist lacks faith in his work, he will easily give up before it is complete. But if he believes that every small brushstroke is a part of a larger picture, he will persevere, understanding that all beautiful things take time to complete. Stoic philosophy teaches that we need to focus on our efforts rather than becoming overly obsessed with the outcome. When Epictetus said, "It's not the events themselves but our judgments about those events that disturb us," he meant that our doubts and lack of trust in our efforts are what truly unsettle us, not the process or the outcome itself. We cannot control everything in life, but we can control our actions and attitudes towards the process. When we choose to believe in our efforts, regardless of the outcome, we begin to realize that true peace lies in our ability to control our mind and perspective on life. Think of the image of a river flowing through a valley. The river knows that to reach the vast ocean, it must navigate through rocks and winding turns. But the river keeps flowing, believing that with time and patience, all obstacles will erode, and the ocean is always ahead. If the river stops flowing out of fear that it cannot overcome the obstacles, it will become stagnant and dry up. The patience and resilience of the river are not only about action but also about acceptance and trust in the natural order. When we act with the awareness that everything has its rules and its time, we will no longer feel anxious about the future. Imagine planting a hibiscus tree. Initially, it is just a small, fragile plant that seems weak. If we keep worrying, digging up the roots every day to see if it has grown, we will damage the growth process of the tree itself. But if we patiently take care of it, water it regularly, protect it from weeds and pests, then one day, the tree will grow strong and bloom vibrantly. The blooming of the tree is not something we can fully control, but the consistent, patient care we provide is the foundation for its growth. Stoicism emphasizes that when we act with patience and the acceptance that some factors are beyond our control, we are no longer stressed or worried about the outcome. Our minds become free, as we are no longer haunted by what has yet to happen. The tranquility that Stoic philosophy brings is the freedom from fear and worry about the future. When we focus on our actions and accept that everything takes time to blossom, we free ourselves from the burden of having to achieve immediate results. Patience is placing trust in the process, believing that everything needs time to ripen and develop. Patience means accepting that we cannot force time, and only when we relinquish the desire to control outcomes can we truly find peace and freedom in our journey. Stoic philosophy shows us that freedom and happiness do not come from the final result but from learning to let go and trust the natural order of things. Part 4, a dialogue, Marcus Aurelius and his student. One day, under the vast sky and the tranquil atmosphere of the palace garden, Marcus Aurelius was walking among the ancient oak trees. Suddenly, a young student approached, his face clouded with worry. "Teacher," he said, his voice earnest, "I feel restless. I have put all my effort into my work, poured my heart into it with perseverance. But still, there are no results. I feel impatient and want to give up. Perhaps all that I have done is in vain." Marcus Aurelius turned, his eyes contemplative and gentle as he looked at the student. He pointed to a tall oak tree with its wide canopy, shading a large part of the sky. "Look at this oak tree," he said. "It did not grow overnight, nor did it stand firm against strong winds in just one season. Each year, it grows a little more, bit by bit, with patience and resilience, to become a mighty tree capable of withstanding all storms. It had to endure many springs of budding leaves and many harsh winters. All effort and growth require time." The student looked up at the oak tree, its leaves rustling in the wind, reminding him of nature's endurance and perseverance. But teacher, if I don't see the results, how can I keep going? He asked. His eyes still tinged with doubt. Marcus smiled, placing a hand on the student's shoulder. Patience is not waiting passively. Like a still river that does not flow, patience is continuing to move forward, step by step. Even when you do not yet see the destination. When you are patient with the process, you are not just walking a path, you are discovering your inner strength. Like the roots of the oak tree that dig deep into the earth, seeking water and nutrients even in barren soil. You will grow through each step you take. And the lessons you learn along the way will become the solid foundation for your future achievements. Marcus continued, not everything happens immediately. You can plant a seed in the soil, but you cannot force it to sprout and grow in one day. What is valuable often requires perseverance. Just like how water patiently wears down rocks. If you only seek quick results, you will always be dissatisfied. Always feel that you are not enough. But if you learn to value the process, you will see that your patience and perseverance are the most precious things. The student fell silent, his eyes gradually softening. He looked at the oak tree, feeling its strength and firmness, and realized that growth does not come from haste or impatience but from steady steps and consistent actions. He realized that patience is holding on to the belief in the seeds he has sown. Believing that even if the results are not visible today, his hard work and perseverance will create great achievements in the future. Marcus Aurelius nodded gently as he saw the light return to the student's eyes. Remember, even the longest journey begins with small steps. When you accept the process and are no longer obsessed with the result, you will be free. And then your strength will flourish. Just as that oak tree stands firm through many storms. Part 5, Developing Patience and Perseverance in Stoic Philosophy. Stoic philosophy, originating from great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, is a journey of understanding and accepting the natural flow of life. The fundamental principles of this philosophy not only bring peace and stability to the soul but also help individuals develop patience and perseverance in the face of life's constant challenges. Stoicism is not a static philosophy, it is a philosophy of conscious action. Of learning to accept and respond to unexpected changes with clarity. Patience in Stoic philosophy, the journey of seeds. Stoic philosophy teaches that all things of value in life take time to develop. Like a seed planted in the ground. Marcus Aurelius once compared life to a garden, where each action and choice we make is a seed we plant. For these seeds to sprout and grow, they need time, sunlight, water, and patient care. No bloom occurs instantly, and sweet fruits come only when we know how to patiently tend to them. Facing both winds and weather challenges. Patience, according to Stoicism, is not passive waiting but conscious persistence. A Stoic does not sit still, waiting for results to come. Instead, they know that the process is an inseparable part of life. And it is within patience that they find growth and learning. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that true strength lies in the ability to endure and keep walking, no matter how difficult the path. Patience is knowing to embrace challenges as an inevitable part of life and using them to build one's resilience. Epictetus and inner peace, accepting what we cannot control. Epictetus, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, believed that inner peace does not come from controlling external circumstances but from controlling our reactions to them. Imagine a boat in the open sea. The boat cannot control the weather or the stormy waves. But the sailor can control how he adjusts the sails and directs the boat. In life, we cannot prevent incidents such as failure, illness, or loss. But we can control how we react and face these events. Epictetus taught that if we focus only on what we can control, specifically our thoughts, actions, and responses, we free ourselves from worry and stress. Patience, therefore, is the acceptance that not everything is within our control. Like the sailor who remains calm while steering the boat through the storm, we must also keep our minds steady and resolute when life presents unforeseen challenges. By accepting what cannot be changed, we can maintain inner peace and find stability amid the ever-changing currents of life. Seneca and the philosophy of time, resilience through challenges. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized that life is a series of challenges, and only patience and perseverance can help us overcome them. He likened life to a fast-flowing river, constantly pushing us into unexpected bends and obstacles. But like the water, if we know how to be patient, how to navigate and adapt to the flow, we will not only overcome difficulties but also become stronger. Seneca wrote, "We cannot choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we respond to it." Resilience is not about confronting every challenge head-on but the ability to adapt and maintain one's stance despite changes. Seneca's philosophy especially emphasizes the importance of time. He believed that patience is understanding that a meaningful life cannot be measured by the number of quick achievements but by the long journey and the lessons we accumulate along the way. Like a sculpture, each challenge and phase we go through is a chisel mark, shaping a more complete person. Resilience is when we accept that time is a necessary factor for everything to become perfect and complete, and we are willing to endure and grow with it. Patience and acceptance, learning to find peace within the process. Stoic philosophy not only teaches us patience but also helps us understand how to find peace within the process itself. When we accept that some things are beyond our control, we also learn to let go of expectations and focus on what truly matters, our actions and attitude. Patience, according to this philosophy, is a state of inner calm, when we are no longer swept up in external fluctuations and unrealistic expectations. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Act as part of the universe and accept that everything has its order and time." When we develop patience, we no longer expect everything to unfold according to our will. Instead, we learn to merge with the flow of life, accept changes, and use them as opportunities to train ourselves. This not only helps us keep our minds steady but also gives us the strength to stand firm. No matter how challenging life becomes, the power of patience, overcoming challenges to achieve peace. Patience and perseverance, according to Stoic philosophy, bring about an inner strength, a capacity to overcome challenges and attain inner peace. When we accept that life does not always go our way and that not all efforts yield immediate results, we will no longer be haunted by worries about the future. Patience becomes a tool that helps us maintain our faith in what we are doing, no matter how difficult the road may be. Thus, we find peace not only when everything goes smoothly but also in the most challenging moments. Stoic philosophy encourages us to build patience not just as a skill but as a way of life, a path to seek serenity and understanding of life. When we are patient and resilient, we are not only building the strength to face challenges but also learning to become stronger, accepting the nature of everything, and finding true freedom. Stoic philosophy, having existed for centuries, has proven an undeniable truth: we cannot control the circumstances around us, but we do have full control over our attitudes and actions. This is the essence of the inner freedom that Stoicism seeks. Imagine life as a vast ocean, full of waves and storms. We are small boats, navigating the vast, unpredictable sea. Even though we cannot control the storm or the surging waves, we can control our sails and steer the boat in the direction we choose to overcome the storm. This is the power of inner control. Stoicism does not deny that life is a series of trials and challenges. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "We have the strength to endure and overcome all trials. For that is the natural essence of humanity." This means that life is not a smooth and obstacle-free journey. Sometimes, we will encounter fierce storms, unavoidable tempests, and circumstances beyond our control, such as loss, failure, or even injustice. But Stoicism teaches that what matters is not the situation but how we face it. If you imagine that life is a great play, we cannot decide what role we will play or how the plot will unfold. But we can decide how we play that role. A great actor is not one who knows the script perfectly but one who knows how to improvise, how to immerse themselves and live fully in their role, regardless of how the story changes or surprises. We cannot control fate, but we can control how we react, how we live fully with what we have chosen. Patience, the foundation of inner peace. Patience and perseverance are powerful tools that Stoicism provides to help us maintain our stance, no matter how circumstances change. When we develop patience, we are no longer caught up in anxiety about time and results. Think of an ancient tree standing tall in the deep forest. That tree does not worry when winter comes, when cold winds blow, or when leaves fall all over the ground. It knows that everything requires time. And with each season, it learns to adapt, digs its roots deeper, and extends its branches wider to catch the sunlight. This is the essence of patience, accepting that time is a natural factor and that not everything can be achieved instantly. When we develop patience, we are also building a protective layer for our minds. Life is full of storms, and if we keep worrying about things beyond our control, we will easily be swept away by the endless flow of anxiety and fear. But when we hold on to patience, we are no longer influenced by external factors. We understand that to achieve anything of value, we need to be as persistent as the tiny raindrops gradually wearing down huge rocks. What is great often comes from endless efforts of patience acting according to virtue and value. Stoicism encourages us to focus on acting according to virtue and value instead of chasing immediate results. When we take virtue as our root, every action we take becomes meaningful, even if we do not achieve the desired outcome. This is the difference between someone who merely pursues results and someone who lives by principles. If our goal is to live according to virtue, everything we do becomes progress, regardless of success or failure. Imagine a craftsman sculpting a statue. He does not expect his masterpiece to be completed after just a few strikes. Instead, he knows that every tap, every chiseling stroke, is part of the process. And no matter the final result, he has lived up to his craft, poured all his heart and patience into creating the artwork. Similarly, when we act according to virtue, we are walking a path without worrying whether we reach the destination. Patience helps us not to be fixated on the outcome but instead focus on the quality and meaning of each action, accepting reality and persevering through challenges. The truth is, life does not always go as we wish. Everyone must face challenges, from work failures, conflicts in relationships, to unpredictable events. The important thing is not to escape or avoid these difficulties but to learn to accept and overcome them. Patience is a virtue that helps us remain calm when facing challenges. It is the ability to endure and keep moving forward, even when we are confronted with immense obstacles. When we are patient, we do not react hastily or panic. Instead, we pause, breathe deeply, and think carefully before acting. In Stoic philosophy, patience is also the ability to let go of control and accept the natural flow of life. When we accept that not everything is within our control, we are no longer imprisoned by negative emotions such as worry, fear, or disappointment. We begin to understand that maintaining patience and perseverance is not only a way to overcome challenges but also an act of freedom. When we are no longer bound by things beyond our reach, the nature of patience, a powerful way of living, ultimately. Patience and perseverance are not just virtues we cultivate to deal with difficulties but a powerful and liberating way of living. When we learn to be patient, we not only develop the ability to endure and overcome challenges but also build a life based on solid values. We no longer worry about things beyond our control or feel pressure to achieve quick results. Imagine the image of a tall mountain standing strong between the heavens and earth, unmoved by storms or scorching heat. That mountain is not always peaceful, but thanks to its resilience and stability, it never wavers. Similarly, those who follow Stoic philosophy understand that life is full of challenges. But patience and perseverance are what allow us to maintain our stance and keep moving forward. No matter what storm may come, perhaps patience and perseverance are not about passively waiting, like sitting by the riverbank waiting for the flow to bring what we want. In essence, patience is an active and conscious journey. It is knowing that life will always be full of headwinds, big waves, and inevitable challenges. But instead of waiting helplessly or giving up, we decide to keep moving forward with a steadfast belief in the process. Patience is the strength to accept that life does not go as planned. And instead of being discouraged by difficulties, we learn to face them with courage and persistence. Life is not a straight road but a path full of unexpected twists and turns. Trees in the forest do not grow straight to avoid the storm, instead, they bend with the wind, becoming stronger. Likewise, those who are patient are not waiting for things to go smoothly, they learn to adapt and keep trying, even when conditions are not as expected. Patience is also the deep faith in the value of small steps, of meaningful actions, even when the results are not yet clear. Patience is not resignation or giving up hope. It is accepting that every process needs time to mature. Imagine a bamboo shoot emerging from the soil. For years, it grows slowly, barely showing any changes on the surface. But once it has rooted deeply and built a strong foundation, it suddenly shoots up, growing rapidly within weeks. This is the power of patience, enduring every day, waiting for the right moment, and then bursting forth when the time is right. When we choose patience, we also choose to believe in our own value, believing that our efforts are not in vain. The seeds we sow today may take time to sprout, but the process of nurturing and waiting is what shapes who we are, a person with enough inner strength not to be swayed by changing winds or short-term challenges. Patience is a choice to face life with determination and purpose. We choose not to back down when confronted with difficulties, not to worry when results have not yet come, but to focus on each step of progress we make. When we practice patience and perseverance, we not only achieve our goals but also find meaning in the journey itself, a meaning deeper than any outcome could bring. Part 6, Lessons. The lesson from Stoic philosophy is, focus on what you can control, your attitude and actions. This philosophy may sound simple, but when applied in practice, it becomes a powerful key that opens the path to a peaceful and fulfilling life. Stoicism not only teaches us how to face challenges but also provides a tool to maintain clarity of mind and continue acting wisely. No matter how harsh the circumstances, imagine you are rowing a small boat in the vast open sea. You cannot control the currents of the ocean, calm the raging waves, or change the weather. But you can control how you steer, adjust the sails, and choose the direction to face the storm. This is the image of attitude and action that Stoicism encourages. Focus on what you have the power to change. When you no longer fear what is beyond your control, you free up your energy and calmness, allowing you to handle what you can manage. A deeper lesson is, anything of value takes time and patience to develop. Think of a pine seed. When it is planted in the soil, it doesn't sprout immediately. Even in the first few days, everything seems still, as if nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, its roots are quietly extending, seeking nutrients, and building a solid foundation for future growth. We are the same. Every great goal and every big dream requires time to take shape and grow. If you expect instant success, you will easily become discouraged when results are not immediately visible. But if you understand that everything needs time, you will accept the process and patiently nurture each step along the way. This lesson applies not only to careers or personal goals but also to relationships and self-development. In work, you may give your all, but results may not appear immediately. Sometimes, you must face failures and unavoidable difficulties. The important thing is not to be disheartened and not to blame yourself. Because success is not a quick destination but a long journey with many stages. Sometimes, you have to go through rough paths to reach the peaks in relationships with others. This philosophy also advises us to be patient with others and with ourselves. Building trust and understanding is not a matter of a day or a month. It requires patience to listen, patience to understand, and patience to accept differences. Like a delicate painting, each stroke, each shade needs to be carefully crafted. Relationships are the same, they need to be nurtured and built gradually. And only patience and sincerity can create something beautiful and lasting if you want to grow yourself or achieve big goals. Do not lose heart when results are not immediate. Remember, great things never happen quickly. A mountain cannot form overnight. And a river cannot naturally carve through valleys without millions of years of flow. The same goes for humans. Growth and success never come easily. Every effort must be sustained, and every stumble must be accepted and learned from. As every small step contributes to the grand picture of life, patience is the key to building a fulfilling and lasting life. Without patience, we can easily give up when challenges arise, get caught up in unnecessary comparisons, and lose ourselves. But when we develop patience, we gain the ability to accept and adapt to changes, creating a solid foundation for the future. Patience is not just a virtue, it is a strength that helps us stay steady in the face of difficulties. And through it, we become capable of creating long-lasting and sustainable values. Stoic philosophy advises that each day, we should focus on specific actions, things we can do to improve ourselves and progress toward our goals. No matter what you are doing, learning, working, or building relationships, the important thing is not how far you have gone but whether you are heading in the right direction. Maintain patience and persistence. For everything you do today will contribute to the results of tomorrow. Great achievements and sustainable success require a foundation built on patience and persistence. When we truly understand this lesson and know how to apply it, we not only achieve specific accomplishments but also find peace and freedom in our souls. Patience is how we free ourselves from the pressure of time, unrealistic expectations, and worries about the future. When we understand that everything of value requires time to develop, we will appreciate every moment and every small effort we make. Begin developing patience through small, simple, and meaningful actions in your daily life. Do not think of patience as a grand virtue that must be achieved through huge challenges. Instead, see it as a slow, incremental process. Like building a structure from small bricks. Each day, you can do something that brings you closer to your goal. Whether it's completing a simple task, reading an extra page of a book, or spending quiet time meditating and reflecting, focus on small and specific goals. Things you can achieve that day, rather than looking only at the big and distant objectives. When you break down larger goals into smaller steps, you no longer feel pressure to achieve immediate results. Like a mountain climber, instead of worrying about the distant peak, Just focus on each firm step beneath your feet. Each of those steps, however small, brings you closer to your destination. The sense of accomplishment from completing small steps will motivate you, helping you maintain patience and persistence on the long journey. Do not worry about when you will achieve what you desire, as this will only drag you into the spiral of impatience and anxiety. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You cannot force it to grow overnight. And you should not constantly check or doubt that it will sprout. Instead of worrying, focus on the process, caring for the plant, watering it, and protecting it from weeds. Each small action, even if it doesn't seem to yield immediate results, contributes to growth. Let the seed grow in its own natural way. The important thing is not speed, but the quality and sustainability of what you are building. Meditation, journaling, and self-reflection are wonderful tools for developing patience and keeping the mind in a calm state. When you meditate, imagine your mind as a tranquil lake, unaffected by the swirling flow of thoughts and emotions. Journaling, too, helps you reflect and evaluate your progress, showing you that improvement is not always immediately visible, but small daily efforts are valuable. Through this, you will see that the moments of stillness and self-reflection are when you are building the foundation for patience and persistence. Remember that the journey of building patience is not a straight path. Sometimes, you will encounter obstacles, failures, or difficulties. Don't let these things discourage you or cause you to give up. Learn to accept these challenges as an essential part of life. Like pebbles on a rough road, each time you stumble, it's an opportunity to learn, to build a stronger and more resilient spirit. Challenges are just lessons that help you perfect and deepen your patience. When you develop patience, you will no longer be shaken by life's constant changes. Life, by nature, is like a fast-flowing river, ever-changing and filled with unexpected challenges. If you lack patience, you will easily be swept along, knocked off course, and lose direction. But when you train yourself to be patient, you will be like a towering mountain, standing firm no matter how strong the winds blow. You will have the ability to act calmly, confidently, and effectively. Even in the most challenging times, Stoic philosophy helps you recognize that outcomes are not within your control, but your effort and attitude are entirely in your hands. Once you understand this, you will no longer fear or worry about what is beyond your reach. Imagine building a skyscraper. You cannot control the weather outside, whether it rains, shines, or storms. But you can control how you lay each brick and how you construct each pillar. When you focus on what you can do, you build a solid foundation. Regardless of the external circumstances, when you learn to be patient and persistent, you not only master the skills needed to face challenges, but you also become the best version of yourself, a person who is not easily swayed, who does not get caught up in negative emotions or worries about the future. You become someone strong, stable, and always ready to face any challenge life presents. You understand that what truly matters is not immediate results but the lessons, growth, and resilience you develop along the journey. Stoic philosophy, with all its depth and practicality, encourages you to keep learning from challenges. By practicing patience and persistence, you not only achieve great goals but also learn to live a life full of meaning and fulfillment. You become the person you've always wanted to be, a confident, strong individual who is unaffected by external circumstances and always knows how to create positive value. Regardless of the situation, life is a continuous flow, full of change and constant challenges. But if you learn patience and persistence, you will no longer feel tossed around in this flow. You will know how to adjust your boat, confidently steering it through storms, and finding peace and tranquility amidst the waves. Stoic philosophy is not a distant theory, it is a practical tool. A key that helps you live a strong, confident, and meaningful life. Stoic Pathways will always be a place you can turn to explore the wisdom and practical insights of ancient philosophers, helping you not only face but also overcome all the challenges of life. Trust that when you are patient and resolute, everything you desire will come in its own time. Walk the path of the Stoics and let this philosophy be the guiding light that helps you find the right path and true peace.